How you doing, folks? Tim Attitude2 here for OutstandingPoker.com. I hope your game has been going well. I'm back now. I had a brief, holiday during the summer. Got married, was on honeymoon, so was on a little bit of a hiatus. But now it's fall again. Back into the hardcore grind mode. I'm going to be grinding a lot myself. We put in a lot of videos. We're going to step up the content at OutstandingPoker.com. So I've recorded a session that I played today at 25 cent, 50 cent. So continuing on with my last couple of videos, which were a few months ago. So I want to put out a lot more content now and keep you guys rolling. I think the last session or sort of series I did was 10 cent, 25 cents. So I'm stepping it up a little bit here. You'll find the games probably aren't too different at these stakes. You get a fair number of people that sort of know what they're doing, that basically like subscribe to the tag style of playing somewhat tight, playing somewhat aggressive, three betting a little bit here, squeezing there. So really the way to step beyond that and progress past just the typical tag style is to take into all the little nuances into account and opponent styles and just push your edges in various spots that normal people aren't picking up on when they're just autopiloting through. So I'm going to get going here. I played this earlier today. Played for about an hour, so I got a lot of good footage in there. So I'm going to try to get through that and hopefully get you guys versed in some of the spots. I guess I'd title this "How to Take Your Game to the Next Level," past just the typical tag type play. And if you've watched my latest videos that I've put out, I've been stressing a lot. That's a insta-fold there, deuce nine. I've been stressing a lot, really taking into account your opponents. Your opponents left to act, who will have position on you, and your opponents left to act in the blind. And having a read on them is just so vitally important. And that's just really all it is taking all the nuanced read you have on each opponent. With all the stats you have on them, with all your history at the table with them, and taking that into account. So right off the bat here, and just to talk about who I have at my table so far. So I'm playing 4 tables here. I don't have any sort of real read on these guys. I think I have maybe up to, it looks like 160 hands here, 180 hands here. So I've hardly played with these guys, but I think that's enough history to get a good feel on what type of player they are. I mean, once I know that this guy's like a 23-20 with a pretty high 3-bet percentage of 10.8, I know, and then I can sort of categorize him. Well, he's grinding 25 cent, 50 cents, so what's his sort of his skill level at? I can really use those stats right there, to classify him and really figure out how to exploit his weaknesses and his tendencies. So, and really becoming going from just a decent tag type player to a great player is really just about exploiting your opponent's weaknesses. And I mean, every opponent has weaknesses, myself included, that can be exploited by just looking at the sort of the person's overall game plan based on their stats in all different spots, whether it's pre-flop, whether it's just their raise from each position, whether it's their 3-bet, whether it's their 4-bet, whether it's their 5-bet percentages, and then their post-flop play, how often they're check raising certain spots, how often they're continuation betting, how often they're folding to certain spots, and really taking all those into account and just finding profitable spots where they're doing something that you can exploit. So first hand here, I've raised up pocket nines on the button. Get called by a 76-18 guy in the small blind. We also have a 17-0 guy in the big blind. And I mean, this is only after 18 hands each, so it's not super telling. But I mean, it already starts to give us a feel for these type of players. This guy is just like a donk. He's playing a million hands, almost every hand. Seems like he's very passive on flop and turn, and then will bluff the river. I mean, it's 18 hands, but I mean, I bet I could extrapolate that, and it'd be very true down the line. So I'd be raising a lot of hands here because the big blind's very tight, although the small blind's very loose. So I'd still be raising at least 50% of hands on the button here. So I pick up pocket nines. He calls. I get a very dry, innocuous flop, right?